This is not something that I normally do, but I've invested so many hours in this EasyVSL new software that I bought, that I saw demonstrated in an email that was sent to me. I fell in love with it right away because I know in making video sales letter, I would use PowerPoint and Camtasia, and it's so difficult to get your words in each slide, how to break up your long text in each slide. And I thought that, you know, for $37, that was worth it for this software, you know, the way in which it did it so easily and automatically. And I sent out an email to my list right away to tell them, you know, get this software because, you know, I saw the potential. I thought that, you know, the product was clean from the demonstration that I've seen. So even before I myself bought it and tried it, I promoted it, which was maybe not the best decision to make. You know, when you are recommending something, it's best that you use it yourself rather than depend on somebody else's use of it. Okay, now here you can see that I have you know, the latest version. That's the latest version as has been given out so far, and today is the 16th of January. So this is the latest version that I've, you know, that I've had so far. Okay, now I took one of my website, learncopy.com, and I tried to, you know, change it into VSL. So that was like my first project that I was going to, you know, first project I was going to use. Now here, okay, so let's go to this first project, which I did, and let me just open it here. And you'll see some of the problems and some of the bugs that I found in this software. Okay. Okay, it's loading, I guess because it's recording, it's taking some time to load because I'm recording in Camtasia as well too. Now you'll note here that there is no space. Okay, there's no space between urgent message and here, and also there's no space between these words. Now I've spent hours. I mean, this is basically made up of like close to 300 slides, and these are just highlights that I do. Okay, and the highlights are basically for you know, to help some of the words, you know, to stand out and so forth. And when I updated to version 1.3, when I went back to my slides, I realized that all the space in between anything that was highlighted was gone. So I had to basically go through every other slide in order to do that. Let me just go to the next slide. See here, there's no space here. Here, you see anything that is highlighted, like underlined or made red or whatever. Once I make any kind of changes, find that the spacing is gone. Now, what I did is that I went through all 293 slides. It took me like close to 2 hours in order to make this correction. And I saved it, and it was okay. But once I closed down the program and come back, guess what happened? Here I'm back, right back to the original place where I was in the beginning, where there is no spacing. Very, very annoying, to say the least. Now, note here, note here what happens when you try to edit this slide. Okay, I double click here. Did you see what happened? Now look here, look at this point, okay? Look at this point here, because when you click on in order to edit the text, okay, in order to edit the text, you have to click on the on this box. But look at what? The very options that you need in order to edit disappear. So let's look at it again. So here you see, of course, this is bullet points, and this is numbering the text, okay? If you want bullet points and numbering the text. But if you want to do that here, I guess it has to be performed on the entire slide rather than on the text. Okay, I guess that's what happened. You have to perform the entire slide. Wherein, what would make more sense is that if you have a listing that is in here, once you click here and you're able to edit, then this should be available so that you can able to edit. So the bullet points you can make basically, or the numbering you can do, it has to be 1 per slide. It can't be 2 per slide, because once you click on inside here, these options basically disappear. Now another problem, another bug I found as well too, is here you can choose the different types of transition. Okay, so you can choose the different types of transition, and then it allows you to preview. Okay, so let me just preview here. This is an urgent message for people who want to write their way to financial freedom. In just 10 days of writing a few hours per day, I made over $15,810. Okay, now you realize there. Now I come back. I chose. Okay, let's choose fade. Okay, and now let's go to preview. This is an urgent message for people who want to write their way to financial freedom. Okay, it changes from one slide to the next, but there is no transition. And when I come back now, you realize that the transition, the slide animation, has gone right back to none. Okay, and it doesn't matter what I do, this doesn't keep that change. Now, the worst part of it, of all I found, is okay. Let's go back. It is actually compiling this slide. Now let's go back, because this one is a very long presentation. So there's another one, I think, and it said, "Do you want to save presentation?" Okay, I'm going to say no. And I thought maybe the problem was because this presentation was such a long presentation, about 33 minutes. So what I did is that I made a test presentation, which was basically like 11 slides. Okay, 11 slides. Then I click on next, and here is where you put in your you put in your audio, and you arrange your stuff, and so forth. Now right away you see here that no longer can I see the publish button, or at least I can barely see the publish button. The window itself has resized, and even if it is expanded, okay, this is resized, but even though if it is at full length, sometimes this button disappears. But anyway, let's go through with the compilation. Okay, choose your destination. I'm going to choose my documents and say, okay, I'm going to leave it with the default name. Okay, I'm going to reduce the quality to say to half, and look at the compilation. Okay, now it's going to go to the compilation. It's going to go through each slide, and this was actually shown in the demo on the the selling page, and but it was never shown what happens at the end. Now look, 11 slides. There's a message that comes up quickly, and this is what I get all the time: critical error occurred. Please restart the application. And the only way in which, I mean, any error that occurs, you have to restart the application. There is no recovery at all. So what I have to do now is to close down the application and start again. And that is the same thing that I've had. I've spent like maybe close to 12 hours basically using the software, hoping that it would work. And it appears as though the only way in which this would be able to work for me, which doesn't really make sense, is for me to use the preview and tape it using Camtasia. Of course, I sent in a ticket. I don't know what the response is going to be, but I'm really, really disappointed to see that a software of this nature with so much promise could have been sent out to the public, knowing that it has so much bugs. I really had just looking at the presentation and of the website and so forth. And one side, as one presentation, Brett mentioned. Let me restart this. Let me pause. Okay, so what I've done is that I've gone and restart the program, because that's the only way in which you can, any error that comes up, that's the only way in which you can continue. You have to shut down the whole program, and start again. Now, I really got this thing because I think it did one thing well, and the main thing I thought was the matter of breaking up the slides. That was I found that was the whole beauty of the passage. But it's really, really disappointing to see that I've spent hours and hours and hours, and I cannot get output. Okay, and this is version 1.03, and I'm on the Windows version. I'm hoping that there's something that this can be fixed. Otherwise, the only result I'll have to do would be to get a refund. But I can't refund all the time that I've spent, putting this together and doing all the formatting, hours and hours of formatting these slides, and to know that, there is no decent product I can come out. Okay, let me just open this again. Now I've shut down and open. Let me open this again, just to see how all the slides that I've, changed and edited and so forth, and they've gone right back to the original. Okay, see, this time we can see the publish button. You can see the publish button that is here, and when we went to the other screen, this publish button went off screen. So basically I could edit these, you know, by putting in this space here, and so forth, and you know, and save it. And if I was to shut down the presentation and start, you realize that the space again would have disappeared, again. Okay, so all in all, as I said, very disappointing for software, you know, that was promising so much. I love the clean look of the output. If I could have gotten the output, and hopefully they'll get this fixed